like we were saying at the beginning, Frost Step is the upgrade to Fade Step. It will actually make my Blink ability do damage. This typically promotes me to be more aggressive and actually use it to go into fights rather than using it defensively.
So not only you do damage,
I'm gonna get this.
You can freeze them also,
awesome.
right? You can freeze them when you go through.
Yeah, yeah, it will chill them.
Yeah, chill them. Yeah.
So what the chill debuff does is it makes their movement speed and attack speed very slightly slower, which is quite handy if you are trying to run away from something, which, you know, when you get further into the level typically happens. I'm going to leave the last point for whomever sits down next, just in case they want blur, or they want to start. Yeah, I'm much nicer than Billy. Unless they want to play another class too, is probably fine. But yeah, I got the upgrade to Chain Lightning, which gives it more bounces, and the distance bonus helps a lot. A lot of the time, early enough, especially with so many archers, they will spread out in a way where you can't use Chain Lightning. The way this ability is designed is if you use it against one person, you will be sad and you have done the ability wrong. You always want to be hitting 2 people with it to get the maximum effect. So as it says here, it hits 4 times. That is if there are 2 people. If there's only one character, it only bounces once, as it is a chain and not a
try to
class.
Use when
make
the
sure,
are clustered,
make
right?
sure there are always 2 people to use this. Otherwise, your teammates may yell at you for not being cool. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of other cool stuff. Fly around them quickly. This is another crowd control one, as is this one. This tree is pretty favor of primal, yeah, lightning and stuff. And then Seeker Swarm at the bottom, this is what I would go for right here as my offensive keeper. If you were a more defensive based one, you'd probably want to get Static Cage, super good, and same with Disruption Field. These are very, very high tier. You can see by the cooldowns, 32 seconds.
All right, so now we're gonna do rotation. So we're gonna have thank you, Luke. Thanks for playing with us.
Thank you,
Yeah, keep playing with us downstairs. Keep up the good work.
See if I can take this off without.
So we're gonna have Amelia. Yeah, we're gonna have Amelia Van Hayden, one of our gameplay programmers for Mode Player. She's gonna join us, and we also have Derek Holland. Derek, show up here. Only if you brought the hat. Yeah. So Derek, this is live. It's gonna be a cozy couch, I guess.
Doesn't work with the hat.
Doesn't? Can you guys hear us?
How we doing? All right.
All
I'm
right.
gonna have to remove the hat, folks. Sorry.
Right, so this is Derek Holland, work with us, QA for Multiplayer on the line. And we have Amelia. Amelia, please take a seat. I guess we can all 3 seat here.
Oh yeah, it's a 3-seater.
Yeah.
Hello,
Amelia,
hello.
you're gonna play with the mage?
I am. I was doing some fantastic legionnaring downstairs.
Oh yes, you
but
did really well as a tank.
Now that's in Mr. Luke's hands.
Let's see, do you have enough go to... Well, actually you have 1 ability point to spend, so...
I'm personally a fan of Fade Step, and we've already got that.
That's good.
Elementalist is my favorite mage. They have rockets, and there's no rockets on. Let's go with Mind Blast for Clean Burn.
Yeah, clean burn first, then the Mind Blast.
And I want some potions, because I think we need to get some bees.
These are always good. I like.
I know Luke tried for some, but I think my luck is better.
Let's see your luck. Rock Armor, Healing Potion, Years of the Dead, and the Mighty Offensive Tonic.
No bees. Better luck next time.
Roll again.
Even Fire, so that's kind of like a fire grenade of sorts. Electrical Resistance Tonic. Confusion Grenade. No bees. Alright.
Someday.
We can dream.
So Amelia is also like mapping the potions now, as you can see. It's kind of a depending on your play style, you can only take 4 potions to the match, 2 of each. So it's important for her to choose the potions that she want to take into the battle.
I'm gonna go with
Did chests or bad guys ever drop potions that we can use?
No, they do not drop potions. No. What you can find, like we mentioned previously, once you open a chest in the treasure room, you may find an item, and the item can be an armor, which is going to unlock a new character, or maybe an armor for a character that you have already. So it's a different look for the character. You can also get like a new weapon or a new weapon modification. Right. Let's go into the match. So Emilia is going to play the keeper. We have like more level up characters, level 5 characters, all of them. So you see that in 1 hour you manage to level up all the way to level 5, which is cool. And now everybody has 4 abilities, right? Well, up to 4 abilities, depending if they didn't pick all passives.
Now, do we have another class Amelia might want to play, or are we gonna keep with the keeper?
Well, we could change if she gets. So do you want to continue with the Legionnaire, Amelia, and show how to play with the Legionnaire? Well, I guess it's kind of too late because everybody
bit
was
too
like
late.
ready up.
Yeah.
Not this time. Next time, guys.
All right.
Almost.
We go with the mage. Let's roll with the mage.
We promise Twitch we will rotate our character selection next time.
Yes.
Amelia does well with keeper.
I could
Good
try.
choice.
I could try and be a Legionnaire keeper. I mean, I could get it in the front line.
I want to see that.
I don't think it'll work though.
No, you're too squishy as a keeper.
The effort
But
that
but
counts.
but for the warriors, you kind of can, right? You can be the primary tank or the secondary tank. If you do have 2 warriors in your party.
So I feel like even if we don't beat the match, you know, we've bonded as a team, and we've grown as human beings. So it's not so bad. I'm gonna change my settings really quick because I play the right way.
Now,
And-
one thing
Oh.
that I don't know if people have managed to hear, but if we had the volume a lot louder, they probably would, is there's actually banter between the players. So can you talk to me a little bit about how, like, these characters actually have personalities? It was written by Cheryl Chi.
Yeah, they do have lots of personality. Actually, Cheryl did a great job writing the characters and their personality, putting lots of that personality when you're in the match. You can see them. They talk to each other. Like for example, the Legionnaire. He comes from the deep roads. He's more polite kind of a guy. You're gonna have the Reaver. She's much more aggressive and she wants to take control of everything. Some of the mages, I don't know why they have a big ego, right? So you're gonna see that in the match as well. And it can be funny also if you have 2 of the same mages, like 2 keepers or 2 elementalists in the same party. You're gonna see them making jokes with each other, or making compliments to each other.
Elementalist comes preloaded with all the sass, and that is why he's the best mage,
And that is why Amelia likes the Elementalist.
obviously. I have a good amount of sass.
So in the minimap, we didn't explain it before, but if you see the red dots in the minimap, you can look in the bottom left corner, you see the arrows or the dots, those are the enemies. All the golden icons are objectives for you, so it may be like the final area for the zone, which is the banner that you can see there. The golden dots are your friends, where your friends are. And sometimes you're going to see a question mark, which is a treasure room, or if it is an event, it's a diamond. Golden diamond.
And just a little note that it's kind of handy to have some of those shortcut routes as well, where you can actually use them strategically to flank the enemy times too.
That all depends on how confident you are. Usually opening up a shortcut leads to a very quick death.
Yeah.
And depending on who is opening up that shortcut, that is true.
Hmm.
Amelia, actually, you worked a lot in the HUD as well, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about the things you did on the HUD? And
Yeah, there's some little details you might not notice right away. So if you look at the health bars, there's little black pips on each of the individual party members' health bars, and that shows kind of like the maximum health. The more health you have, the more pips you have. So you know, as you level up and you prestige your characters, your character stats will go up, and eventually you'll get more pips. And that's a really good way to easily, at a glance, tell which characters are beefier than others.
so if you look at the warrior, even in like right now, you can see the warriors. You can see that they have more peeps, right?
Hmm.
Like the Legionnaire, for example.
Yep.
So it kind of gives you an idea that it's a bad thing for the mage to be in the front, basically.
Yep. Another thing that was suggested by Grant, our lead designer, which was I actually really liked, was there's little colored borders around the portraits on each player, and that kind of lets them stand out. And those are assigned to your slot in the lobby. So like the blue icon outline or the orange icon outline, those are preset, but it really helps them stand out.
So who is this guy right here? What's going on?
The Inquisition informant. So we've been sent into this tomb by the Inquisition to kind of extract this guy. He got lost in here informing some evildoers, I guess. And so we've got to escort him to a safe place.
And I noticed Fade Step, one of my personal favorite abilities in this whole game for sure, is an escape ability that kind of every character is usually given a gap closing or a gap escaping ability, right?
Yep, and so that's the interesting thing is you've got kind of a choice in gameplay there. So like if you're a person who really likes mobility and really likes to dodge and sort of line of sight people, like you can use one of your 4 ability slots for dodge because it's on the tree and everyone has an ability like that. But if you don't really feel like that's necessary, you don't have to pick it.
Nice barrier. Nice barrier.
Yeah, the barrier actually works on the informant as well, which is really cool.
Yep.
And you can put the barrier on yourself also, right?
Yep. And I don't know if we explained it already, but if I barrier someone else and they take damage, I get support XP for that. So if you notice at the end, when the leaderboards are ticking up, the support classes who aren't doing a lot of damage still compete with the amount of XP that they've given to the team because supporting counts just as much as knocking people's teeth out.
And for people who don't know, how does the barrier work? Does it make you invincible, or what does it do?
So barrier applies, it's sort of like temporary health. You can see that I've just applied a barrier to myself and I've got that blue bar. It ticks down pretty quickly over time if it's not used up. And then each time I take a hit, it also takes a little bit out of that bar.
Instead of your health bar.
Instead of the health bar, that's right. And you can apply certain different upgrades to the barrier to make it last longer. Or one of the really cool passives is that when you drop below a certain amount of health, you get an instant barrier, so it's sort of like a last chance.
I've always said all summer long at all the events we've gone to, the barrier is one of the most important abilities we have. But it's really one of those abilities you need to coordinate with your team to kind of use effectively.
It definitely needs some coordination. So the person playing the keeper always need, of course, that's hard to show on the stream, but needs to be looking at the cooldown of the barrier, so that as soon as she has a barrier available and there is a fight, I'm like, she's gonna put the barrier on the tank.
Yeah, I'm not paying too much attention to it because we've got 2.
True, you have 2 mages, so one can be more offensive, right?
So we're kind of getting swarmed here, and that's kind of like we talked about earlier. We took a shortcut, and you know, it was nice because it was shorter, but there was a ton of enemies. Luckily, we're level 5 now, and we've got some pretty nice abilities, so...
Oh, you got bonus gold because you completed the event. You saved the informant, right?
Yep. He lives to inform another day.
And are there any kind of executions or team combats or team combos in this?
There are combos. I think Lou talked about them briefly, but basically there's a number of different spells that interact. So if a mage freezes someone and Guardian smashes them, for instance, you'll get a Shatter combo. And there's a couple different combos like that you can pull off. So if you communicate with your friends and you build a party comp that's combo focused, you can really pull off a bunch of that stuff. And there's challenges based on that. Oh, Nug, yeah. Treasure Nug.
Very important.
Oh yeah, the challenges. I'm like, we haven't mentioned about the challenges at all, actually.
Yeah, so if you really like combos and you're fan of challenges, oh my.
Uh-oh, it's gonna be tough.
Good timing on the barrier.
Then you can actually gain a couple of challenges. And maybe, Scylla, do you want to talk about like the rewards from challenges?
Oh yeah, so we do have more than 200 challenges available at launch for Dragon Age multiplayer, and all types of challenges. So some are going to be class specific, like for example for the mage. If let's say for example if you kill like 50 people with your staff, you get you complete one challenge, but you have it's a tier challenge, right? You may have like 5 tiers. So once you keep going on the challenge and you complete, let's say, the tier 3 of that challenge, then you may get a reward. The reward can be, for example, a new item that you can use on your on your match. So instead of having like a face portrait, maybe it's going to be a different one related with the Dragon Age franchise. You can have also like a new banner that you're going to put in the lobby. So let's say that you're an awesome mage and you're going to have an awesome mage banner, and you can put that on the lobby. It's going to show up for the other players in the lobby. So those are some of the rewards that you can get. And we also going to... Yeah, bragging rights, basically. And we're also going to bring to Dragon Age multiplayer, we're going to bring the weekend challenges. So every weekend, we're going to have like a different challenge that is going to be for you as an individual and also for the community. So we're going to say, okay, so if the community, for example, kills, I don't know, like 1 million brutes, let's say Venatori brutes, then everybody's going to get like a special chest for that weekend challenge. So we're going to use the full challenge system for that.
So since you guys have 2 keepers here, are you able to stack your barriers at all?
You can, but the cooldowns make it so that you can't infinitely stack barrier, because not only does it tick down on its own, but generally you're taking damage. But
usually it's a better strategy to
tag team it.
Yeah, tag team. So once one barrier goes down, the other keeper goes and throw the barrier.
And so you can try all kinds of crazy combinations of classes, but you'll find that a balanced party will fare much better. So, like we've played, 4 legionnaires and 4 keepers, and you can kind of plot along and get far and have some fun there, but you're not going to do as well as if you have a balanced party.
You'll certainly
a balanced party of good players, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, good players is always required, but.
You'll certainly miss out on some of the treasure rooms as well, since some of those doors are class specific.
So the other thing that might not be so apparent is that for people who like movement, people who like combat rolls and all that kind of stuff, you can also sprint. You might not be able to tell because it's kind of a small animation blend, but if I'm walking here and I click sprint, you'll see that I get a little bit of an extra pace. And so that helps you when you've left combat or you're running screaming from a Venatori brute. Or you can just fade step.
Oh, it looks like you guys are splitting up. Or no. Yeah, right. Someone is slow. Must be the Legionnaire.
Yeah. Splitting the party always works in horror movies.
That's exactly. Yes.
I think that smoke right there was a stalker.
Could
Oh.
be.
Yep. Oh, God.
Good call. Yeah, he can ruin your day.
Which is actually a good thing, since you notice. I'm like the enemies also have some sort of a telling, right? I'm like you can see when they're about to attack or if they're about to show up. If you pay attention, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of I forget the term now, but yeah,
Oh,
they forecast their attacks.
Yeah.
looks like you get some aggro, Amelia.
That's cool. I'm a
Group of
legionnaire.
archer? Yes, you are.
I'm a legionnaire keeper. I'm cool.
Well struck.
So I've noticed you haven't used a health pod, even though you're in the danger zone. Is there a reason for that?
Risk reward. So you only get 2 health potions. So you really got to save those for when you need them.
To a session, right?
Per session, yeah.
Per session, yeah.
They refill. So basically, we only had a couple enemies there, so even if I went down, my party probably would have picked me up. But I'm saving my health potions for when stuff really gets crazy. Oh,
Speaking
like
of
right
which,
now.
It's crazy to me.
Yep. So I'm gonna try and stack barrier here so we can get through this.
Oh, you're gonna get all the aggro now.
Good call. I saw the stalker.
All right, ready? Get close. Get close.
All right, nice barrier.
Uh-oh.
All right, out of the frying pan.
Uh-oh.
Too deep
This
maybe.
could
Looks like-
spell danger for our keeper.
Nope.
Oh,
Well done.
it did work.
There's a potion.
All right.
God, that ability is so cool. I could fade step all day.
It's pretty awesome.
Although I usually end up going in the middle of all the characters, and that doesn't help me at all.
Yeah.
Like a Vanguard.
Did you guys
Yeah.
mention the passive that you can add to Fade Step?
I think Luke mentioned that you can add the passive for the Fade Step, and then you do more damage, right? You do like
Yep.
100% damage, I guess.
So you can fly through enemies
Yep.
and damage them at the same time. It's pretty cool.
Does it freeze enemies as well?
Luke was saying that you can chill enemies, so
Yeah.
basically it's a, yeah.
It's a status effect.
Yep. All right, zone number 4. You guys get in there.
Yeah, when we
I
had-
believe you can get to zone 5. Let's see.
I believe we're a team. We're bonding. We're
Let's
human
go,
beings.
guys. Let's do it.
So when yeah. Yeah.
You see that they're tracking the enemy upstairs so that they can deal with 1 or 2 enemies at a time.
Divide and conquer. Excellent strategy.
So when we took multiplayer out to a couple different conventions and had players play, it was a big deal to get somebody to wave 5. Like there was a couple of teams that did it, and they worked well together, and it was really cool. But they had level 7 characters.
Yep.
And we're level 5 here, so hopefully we can do it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we have as Amelia was saying, like we went to PAX in Seattle, and we also went to EGX in the UK in London, and we had pretty much like 8 teams. During 4 days, we had 8 teams at PAX and 8 teams at the EGX that actually managed to finish the Zone 5, defeat the boss. But they had, everybody had a level 7 character.
Yeah, and that was really cool because a number of teams that actually ended up beating it, like they waited in line multiple times to play the game, and you know that was a couple-hour wait, and that was really cool to see the enthusiasm and you know eventually their victory. So
Yeah, people were really excited there. Patrick was with us.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing between how many people we went through. Like, you know, we don't make it easy for them. These are a challenge. You really do have to work together as a team. I know you guys aren't seeing it right now, but you know, communication is a key for a lot of these successful runs.
Yep.
And whenever you guys finally do get to the end, is there a big bad last boss you got to face off against?
yep, that's
Yep.
usually the thing is that you gain power to the point to where you can make it to wave 5, but you can't get past the guy at the end. There's usually a boss there. It's we call them commanders. So each faction is a commander, and usually you know you feel like you're doing pretty well, and then they show up and everybody gets wrecked.
And they can be deceiving also, right? He's kind of a slow, let's say for example, the Venatori.
hmm
So the commander is kind of like a slow-moving guy, and kind of, oh, he doesn't look that tough
Until he swings the sword.
until he swings
Yep.
his sword.
You don't want to make it mad. Oh no, I think I aggroed a second group.
Uh-oh,
yes.
uh-oh.
Thank Fade Step for that. You're pulling a Patrick strategy now.
Don't you dare talk bad about Fade Step.
Oh, they're controlling the choke point. Let's see, dealing 1 by 1.
So if you really wanted to, and you weren't the nicest teammate, can you Leroy Jenkins everyone?
Oh yeah,
Oh, sure you can.
yeah. I mean, it's a teamwork-based game, and if you're not working as a team,
I highly recommend that for lessons learned.
yes.
Oh, nice barrier.
And there's no friendly damage, right? Like that lightning is never going to strike your teammates.
Nope.
Yeah, no friendly fire. So you see that they're playing like really well together. I'm like they're sticking there at the choke point, and well, yeah, and then Amelia just like goes straight there and
That was
Shock
the
them
best
all.
lightning strike ever.
Like I said, I'm an aggro mage, so I don't like to sit in the back. I like to keep the aggression,
All right.
The Aggro Legionnaire Keeper.
because I'm a keeper.
Oh,
Get it?
the stalker. Oh, here he goes.
Oh yeah, he just disappeared. And he's a boss this time. So he's a little bigger, a little tougher.
Because you can surprise them too. Like you can fade step into the middle, and everybody's like, "What?" And then you just run away.
Yeah.
Or die.
Uh-oh.
Good
It's
eep.
Oh,
nice of you to accept all those arrows on their behalf.
I'm tanking.
you definitely are.
I'm the off tank. So anybody who's joining us, basically, one of the core functions of the mode is that all XP and gold is shared. So it's a teamwork-based game. Oh my, I'm in trouble here.
Oh, yes, you are.
And so that means that you don't have to compete against your teammates for experience. All the experience each individual person gains is given to everybody else. And also when you loot gold, everybody gets the same amount. So you can kind of compete amongst each other to see who gets the most XP for the team in the session, but it's all shared, so.
Yeah, it is definitely a teamwork and team rewards as well, right?
And
Yep.
what happens if somebody leaves or drops mid-match?
Oh, if someone drops, I'm like, you can let's say that something happened with their connection and they drop, like they can just like go and quick match again into the same game or receive an invitation from their friends.
Yeah.
And in case that he doesn't come back, someone else can join into the match also and just drop in.
And any gold he's earned up to that point has already been put into his inventory as well. He won't lose out on.
That's one thing I was really adamant about, is that I think one of the most frustrating experiences is that, you know, like you get kicked out of a match and you've got a ton of experience or progression or whatever and you lose it. And I want to make sure that that happens like not at all or as little as possible. And so one thing we did is like Derek said, golden items are atomic, which means the second that you get them, they're granted to your character. So if you leave the match or you're kicked or whatever, you always get your golden items. And your XP and progress towards challenges and stuff like that. If you leave a match, as long as your team doesn't get to the next checkpoint, when you rejoin, you'll save that stuff.
Congratulations,
So
you made it to wave 5.
We've made it to wave 5.
Zone 5, all right.
Well done.
So zone
Yeah.
5, let's explain a little bit how it works. So you can see that they enter the zone 5, no enemies are attacking or anything, because they have to place the Inquisition banner so that the fight can start. If you look at the minimap, you're going to see that there is the golden icon there on the bottom left, showing where the Inquisition banner is. So you guys can move there, but before you put the Inquisition banner, it's probably a good idea to discuss what kind of strategy you're gonna have. Are you guys gonna stick together in a place or move? I'll let you do it, Amelia.
Yeah, kiting for days, definitely. So it depends on the commander that you get for the faction, but generally you end up in a wide open area and you've got to defend and defeat the commander. Different commanders have different behaviors. Some teleport, some move slowly, so on and so forth. And so you gotta basically build a strategy around that. Generally, what we try to do against slow-moving commanders is we find a choke point as a team, and then we kind of wait for the enemies to funnel to us. And then once we get overwhelmed, we'll move to another choke point. If you stand out in the middle, it's very brave, but it probably won't end well for your team.
Yes.
Brave or foolish, the choice is yours.
Let's
so
do
we
it.
Okay, so here we
claim
go.
this in the name of the Inquisition. There we are.
So now you see enemies are spawning, and they're going to start coming to us from all directions. And
Venatory Commander's health bar just came up too.
yep, let's run this. Oh my gosh, where did our tank go?
Your tank is tanking.
All right, guys, let's hang out here for a little bit, and then let's run.
So you can see that enemies are coming from 2 points from the stairs, upstairs and downstairs. They're coming.
Or a
It's
group
like
of melee.
A little bit
attackers.
outnumbered now. 5 enemies and
Let's see what I've got. Antivan fire.
Probably,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think our commander has just shown her face.
oh, nice potion, Amelia.
Yeah.
Even fire.
Oh, there she
There
is.
she is.
So there's the commander. She's a fire mage, and she's probably gonna wreck all of us. So we should probably run.
Stick and move, stick and move.
So you can see that the party's kind of splitting up now. It's a dangerous time. Now they're trying to tackle one enemy that is alone. But now the other enemies are getting closer to them, so might be a good
Are we
time to
getting
move
pinched?
again.
Could be, yeah, flanked a bit.
Oh. So you see they keep on hitting and moving, hitting and moving.
Someone coming up behind you on your right.
Okay.
Alright, so this is good. They're sticking together.
And it's a good time to use the potion.